Hi everybody, welcome you once again to Micro Learning. This is Shailaja with Class 12 Economics of Samacheer Kalvi, Introduction to Macroeconomics. Now we are going to see 1.6 to 1.7.1 along with a worksheet. Now we are going to see economy and its system. The economy and its system is being taken as a production and consumption, because these two factors play a very major role in the growth of a country. So production and activity and consumption activity are interrelated to growth. And who connects the productive activity and consumption activity? It is supposed to be the exchange activity. So, a growth of a country is being determined by production analysis and consumption analysis. And these production analysis and consumption analysis is connected with exchange activity, because any product that is being produced has to be consumed. For that, exchange activity plays a very major role in it. Then you can see you have supporting economic and non-economic factors. Which are the economic factors? The economic factors are supposed to be banking, advertisement, planning, transportation. All these are supposed to be economic activity. And they have given a word called as non-economic activity. What are the non-economic activity? Even though we produce any product, certain things depends upon the environment. Certain things depends upon education, certain regulations, certain health. All these things are related to non-economic factors. Other than that, you can see in the last you can see external activities. External activities are supposed to be, for example, when you export a product from our country to another country, or we import, because we are all interdependent on each other. So immigration, foreign investment, or you can any type of activity which comes out from abroad and we send our products abroad, this is called as external activities. That is outside our country it goes, and we import certain things from other countries also. This we call it as external activities. Now, economic activities can be classified into different types based on, the first one is status of development. What does this mean? We divide the economy as developed, developing, underdeveloped. Okay, we can divide this into these three categories. System of activities, whether they come under capitalism or whether they come under socialism or whether under mixedism. Next is scale of activity, whether we are going to concentrate on small scale economies or large scale economies. Then nature of functioning, it can be a static one or it can be a dynamic one. How is the nature of the operation? It may be an open economy or it can be a closed economy. Nature of advancement, whether we are going to go for traditional one or whether it's going to be a modern one. Level of national income, whether we are going to get a low income or middle income or high income economies. That's why earlier we have classified the status of development as a developed economy, underdeveloped economy, and developing economies. Next is economic system. What is economic system? Economic system is nothing but it refers to the manner in which individuals and institutions are connected together. How an individual and an institution is getting along with each other, we call it as economic system. And the three major economic systems that we have classified as capitalist economy, socialist economy, and mixed economy. We call it as capitalism, socialism, and mixedism. Let us proceed to the first part of capitalism. Now, who is the father of capitalism? Father of capitalism is Adam Smith. Capitalist economy is also termed as a free trade economy, market economy. This is an objective question for you. Who is the father of capitalism? And capitalism is also termed as free trade economy, market economy. Now, how is the role of the government? The role of the government is supposed to be minimum. Okay, very less interference of the government. And who determines the economic activity? It is a market that determines the economic activity. So, there are three objectives for you children in this. Who is the father of capitalism? Adam Smith. Capitalism is also termed as free trade economy, as market economy. That's also another objective. And what is the role of the government? The role of the government is only minimum. So, you have 1, 2, and 3 objectives for you. Next is production are privately owned. Okay, profit is the main motive. Of course, when we concentrate on private owned sectors, their motive is ultimately profit. Private individuals have freedom in occupation, development, and skill. If you are highly talented, you can show your potential and you can grow in capitalist economy. There are few countries which follow capitalism: USA, West Germany, Australia, Japan. Now let us move to the features of capitalist economy. The first one is private ownership of property and law of inheritance. All of us know what is private ownership. And law of inheritance, the resources or the ownership passes down to generation to generation. So here it's given all resources like land, capital, machine, mines are owned by individuals. So since it's a private ownership, individuals own it. The second one is property can be transferred to their heirs after their death. So the property passes down to generation to generation. Next one is freedom of choice and enterprise. Individuals are free to carry out any type of occupation, any type of trade at any place they want within their country. Consumers are free to buy any commodity as per their choice. There is no restriction at all as far as capitalist countries are concerned. Next one is profit motive. Since everything is based on private, each individual produces goods which ensures high profit. They use advanced technology, they have division of labor, and they have specialization. Since it's a developed country, they have very good technology and they divide the labor force according to their technical skills, and they specialize themselves in their particular field. So what is the main motive behind it? To maximize profit. So every capitalist country is aiming for profit. The next one is free competition. There is free competition in both production and factor market. That is as well as product as well as factor market. The government cannot prevent firms from buying and selling in the market. There is competition between buyers and sellers. So, free competition. If you have the product, you have all rights to enter into the market, compete with each other. Next is price mechanism. All economic activities are regulated through price mechanism. That is, two forces are there, demand and supply. These two play a very major role in price mechanism. Next one is role of government. Price mechanism regulates economic activities. The government has only a limited role because they give too much of importance towards the private sector. The government provides basic service like defense, public health, education. All these sectors come under the government and they give importance to these particular sectors. Inequalities of income. Society is classified into two, haves and have-nots. So you have two sets of people. The people who have property, who are very rich. Have-nots, those who are poor, though they do not have anything. So the rich, as far as capitalist countries are concerned, the rich people are always rich and the poor people are always poor. So economic inequalities goes on increasing because those who have money, they possess all the resource. Those who do not have, do not possess any resource. Next, let us move on to the merits and demerits of capitalism. First one is automatic working. Because there is no government interference in the economy works automatically. Next one is efficient use of resources. Since each individual possesses the resource, they utilize that resource to the fullest extent. The next one is incentives for hard work. Those who work very hard, they are encouraged and they are awarded with the profit that an entrepreneur gets. Next is economic progress. Economic progress always depends upon production, because if the productions are very high, automatically the economy will start developing. Consumer sovereignty. All production activities are aiming to satisfy the consumers, and the consumers have all the right to choose the product whichever they like. There is no restriction. Next one is higher rate of capital resources. Increase in saving and investment leads to higher rate of capital formation. Once your saving keeps on increasing, investment also keeps on increasing. And if investment is going on increasing, that shows that the economy is at the boom. Next is development of new technology. All latest technologies are brought in. When all technologies or new technologies are brought into the market, naturally the quality of goods increase. So the production increases, the income also increases, the investment also increases. As we have merits on one side, we have demerits also on the other side. Concentration of wealth and income. What happens? The rich people are having resources in their hand, while the poor, they do not possess. So since they have resources a lot in them, there is an inequality in the income. There is a gap between the rich and the poor. Next one is wastage of resources. Since we have large amount of resources, what is happening? There is competition. Sometimes we do not use that resource to the fullest extent because we go for a technological transformation. When we go on for transformation, certain resources are not required when new technologies come in. Next is a class struggle. Capitalism, actually it leads to a great struggle in the society, because you have a set of people who are highly rich and you have a set of workers on the other side. So there is always a struggle between the rich and the poor, and there is a wide gap between these two. The richer are always richer and the poor are always poor in the capitalist economy. Next is business cycle. Business cycle is nothing but, since it is a free market, there may be sometimes violation of certain economic activities. Sometimes it may lead to some crisis also. Sometimes there may be recession, sometimes there may be depression also in a business cycle. Next is production and non-essential goods. Okay, they sometimes produce harmful products at, and they try to make profit out of it. Right? So there's no one to ask as such because they are free to do whatever business they like. Here you have a worksheet. Who is the father of capitalism? What is capitalism otherwise called as? Name the countries that follow capitalism. Write the merits and demerits of capitalist economy. Write a short note on free competition. Go through the slides once again and answer to the question that is following it. Thank you. Please, those who are watching this channel, please subscribe and support me. Thank you.